Yep. This is interesting because some of you don't know. So we're just going to take a little trip down memory lane. Talk a little wrestling this Friday. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we back in the cave. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. And first, let's see who we got in the building. My brother Mac of the South in the building, man. Salute. Michael Fleming. Thomas, what's going on? Oh, yeah? All right, just a minute. Let me see. Do I got your email, Thomas? Do I got your email? If not, send it to me real quick. Eric H., G. McCall, John Pounds, Mr. Shelton, Shogun, Derek Gaines, the legend. Yeah, well, I'm about to educate you, Derek, because they have a few phases, and a lot of the cats, the younger cats, they don't really know the history of these guys, man. It's actually their career is deep. But we're gonna talk about it. John Pounds, Mada Matza Musa, Steve Elder, Mac, No Smoke TV in the building twice. Wait, hold on. Let me match up your second channel. There you go. There you go. Jermaine with the suplex. No diggity doubt. Jermaine, if you got a minute, if you want to jump on, you let me know. Pooh Man, what's good? Unique Dawn in the building. Salute, sis. Y'all must have forgot. Salute. Bert, what's going on? So this Friday, I want to talk about the Steiner brothers. Okay. Send me. Okay, I got you. Let me There we go. Let me just take that. Damn it. 1 second. All right. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Steiner brothers. This is a legendary tag team, and they were legendary individual wrestlers too. Daryl, what up? What up? Yeah, Derek. You see, Big Papa Pump, that was like his last gimmick on the way out when his career was ending. You know, he was loud, brash, super diesel. But a lot of you cats don't know. Jermaine, I got your email. Put your email in there. I'll drop you the what the fudge? Hold on a second. I'm sorry, y'all. What the hell is going on here? My bad. I got all kinds of audio situations here. My bad, y'all. Hold on. Let me fix that. Oops. There we go. Shit was out here wilding just now. Wow. Hold on. All right, cool. We cool. All right, wrestling conversations are always fun because I go back a little more than some people. Some of the things are vague for me. Most aren't. But I've watched these guys go through different phases of their career. And, you know, I'm also a health and wellness guy. I've also watched the bodies go through changes. And one thing I will say is that this brother, Scott Steiner, he's always been, I sent to Jermaine, and I sent you one, Tommy, also. He was always in shape, but a lot of you guys don't know. Rick, with the mustache. When I first saw him, I used to watch a lot of independent. Like when I went to visit family in the South, one of the things that I like to do, but I would ask them, what's the wrestling programs out here? It was different. Everyone aired like the bigger promotions, WWF, AWA, NWA, but there was also UWF. There was Smoky Mountain, and you had to find that stuff, the independent promotions, right? And the first time I saw Rick, he had like a totally different gimmick. He was introduced by this dude named Eddie Gilbert. They used to call him Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, whom, if I'm not mistaken, unfortunately, I think Eddie Gilbert, I think he committed suicide. I think he deleted himself, man. That's just, it's unfortunate. It's a tough business, man. And I saw him, and I actually found the match on YouTube. I actually found it on YouTube. I don't know if this was the one I saw, but I remember him being introduced by Eddie Gilbert. And I said, man, and when Rick was first introduced, holy cow, he was, my God, he was mad, like blocky and big. I was like, what the hell? Yo, he was mad Diesel, bro. He was mad Diesel. It was crazy. I said, oh, shoot, that's Rick? And I remember seeing that a long time ago, man. A long time ago, man. Rick was just, he was retarded Diesel. So there's certain things that I'm going to share on here. I got to be careful with, a lot of this stuff is, you know how YouTube is. But let me give you a brief background, just a real brief background. The Steiner brothers, the American Pro Wrestling Tag Team, Rick and Scott. Rick, obviously, I saw first. They date back to the 80s, man. They were amateur wrestlers. They're like real amateur wrestlers in the University of Michigan. They were college students, man. They made their debut in 1989. I think it was in, I want to say, was it WCW? But yeah, it was WCW back then. But they were on the independent scene for a long time, man. Long time. They participated in, they competed in ECW, WCW, the WWF. But one of my favorite runs of the Steiner brothers was in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, I'm going to tell you something, man. The wrestling is different over there. The wrestling is very, very different over there. I'm not kidding. Hold on, let me try and find this. Rick Steiner debut. I know it's on here because I know I saw it on here. Yeah, there's a few of them on here. But this guy, listen, man. The wrestling is different in Japan. Let me move this screen. Man, what's good, brother?
What's up?
How you feel this morning?
Oh, I'm good. I'm blessed every day.
Yes, sir. For those of the people in the chat that don't know, let them know what your background is in the industry.
Well, my name is Jermaine Jubilee. I am a 22-year pro wrestling veteran. I've had some runs with the WWE, ECW with their hardcore homecoming shows, and I currently tour the East and Mid South areas on an independent level.
That's what's up, man. So I'm sure there's a lot we could learn from you. Have you ever worked with the Steiners at any point?
I have been around them, but I never got the opportunity to work with them.
Right. Now I know that Rod, what up, brother? Now I know I've never been around them, but you hear a lot of backstage stories and things of that nature. Did you hear anything in particular about them? Is any of it true that you know about?
I mean, from my dealings with them, they've always been very nice guys. You know what I mean? They were exceptionally nice, to be honest. You know, when you walk into a locker room for the first time as a young guy and you meet these guys, you're kind of like in awe. So you just kind of sit back and watch and whatnot. But they were gracious. They were gracious to me.
Yep. Now, when did you first? Okay, so you've been in the business for a couple of decades now. When did you first notice the Steiner brothers as like a fan?
I noticed Rick first. Obviously, I noticed him in World Class Championship Wrestling.
Right.
And so I'm like 12, 13 years old at that point in time, and I'm watching everything on TV that's wrestling related. You know, so
right.
I first noticed him there. And yeah, he was running around with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert at the time, and Hot Stuff Inc. in that gimmick at that time.
Yep, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, man. I found the debut of him. I think this is the one I saw. Now, like I said, I'm a health and wellness guy, and I remember watching this. I was down south at a relative's house, and I already knew who Eddie Gilbert was. Let me take this and move this over here for a second. I'm gonna show y'all what I saw, and I think this is it because he was working with him for a little while. But this guy, the gimmick was different. But I said, man, look at the size of this dude, man. It was insane. Now, in this video, I think Rick is about 5'11", 5'10". But in this video, I think this was his peak, like as far as how strong he was, this was his peak physique. He was 265 here. Look at this is Rick Steiner, y'all. Unbelievable. The dude in the green, that's Eddie Gilbert. Now, Jermaine, did he delete himself, unfortunately?
He did pass away. I forget what the circumstances were behind it. Actually, it's one of the great tragedies in the wrestling world, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Because he was pretty known on the circuit. I don't recall if he worked with WWF or yeah, fair use, y'all. Fair use. I ain't gonna play much. I just want to show y'all this part right here.
He did do some NWA, which turned into WCW. He did get to that point, you know, where he was really starting to come into his own, you know. So when his Untimely came along, it was a big hit. It was a big shot.
Yeah, that was sad. And for those of you that don't know, I mean, everyone be like, "Oh, well, wrestling's fake." Let me tell you something. Those bumps are not. I goofed around. I was young. I goofed around in a professional wrestling ring. The first thing I did was hit those ropes, and I said, "What the hell? What?" It looks a lot different when we're sitting at home on TV. When you bouncing off those ropes, that's a skill, man. You can hurt yourself doing anything in that ring, man. And I said, whoop, not for me. Not for me. You got to get used to that. Bouncing off those ropes. What is it, Jermaine? Like ribs first or side first? How does that work?
you really want to try to take it where you're hooking the top rope first with your arm so that you don't go flying over the other side because
Wow.
because you're going so fast that if you don't protect yourself by hooking and then kind of going arm and hip first, you'll go flying right over the other side. So as easy as it looks, it's definitely not.
It's not. I'm gonna show you how long ago it was. I was still a kid when I did that, and it hurt. It did. It hurt. It hurt. I was like Rey Mysterio size. I was bouncing off the second rope, and I said, "Yo, this hurts. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it." And it was different from a boxing ring. It was extra bouncy. You know, I could tell the difference. But I said, no, not at all, not at all. It's something to be admired to watch these dudes go. All that flipping and hustling and bustling. Of course, you can say it's rehearsed, but let me be very clear. This ain't nothing to play with. You can die in there, man. There was another accident where Rey Mysterio did the 619 in Mexico, and that brother passed.
Mm-hmm.
And it did. The accident's on YouTube, y'all, and it didn't look like anything. He done did that thing a million times, and that one time he caught dude. He caught him just. I don't want to say right. He caught him just enough. One mistake, and that he, you know, that's it's sad, man. But the business is to be respected. These guys are on the road. In 1 year, like for instance, I heard something about the WWF. I'm not totally educated about this. That's why I'm glad Jermaine's here. When you're on a big promotion, you're working with a big promotion, how long are you on the road? Like, let's say you with the WWE. How long you be on the road? 365 days in the year. How long you on the road?
Depends on who you are and how long you negotiate your contract. But your top stars, they are on the road 320 days out of a year.
So you're away from your family that whole time?
If not more. That doesn't include when you're doing signings or special appearances, TV shows, things of that nature. All those go into those days as well. So yeah, you're really away from your family unless you choose to take them with you, or have them come to certain spots that you're at.
Yeah. It's rough. I'm gonna try and get a Paul Orndorff's son on here. I speak with him on Instagram, and he posts a lot of things with his father. And I tell him, I say, your father's instrumental. His father is part of the reason why I got into bodybuilding, because Paul Orndorff had one of the best physiques in wrestling, like even today, one of the best ones.
Yeah, as a kid, I was like, yeah, that man jacked like that. You know what I mean? That he was one of the inspirations that got me started.
Right. And he's one of like the best heels ever. He was one of the best heels ever. He was one of the best heels to ever do it. And I said, man, your child, because he posts his pics of his Christmas and with his dad and like Junkyard Dog be sitting in his living room. I'm like, man, your childhood must have been lit. And he said, nah, these guys were disgusting. Like, he'd be around all those wrestlers. He's like, man, those guys be drinking and farting and stuff. He's like, nah, those guys was nasty. But, you know, I said, man, you know, as a kid, you know, he saw it different. Those are just guys. You know, those are just his dad's friends that he worked with, man. It was strange, you know. But, yeah, man, it's a tough business, and I respect it. I respect it. And all of these guys, don't get it twisted, man. These guys are like real athletes. They have real background. And shout out to the fool that thought he could clown Paul White in real life and got punched through a window or something crazy happened. I'm like, what? He's still 7 feet tall. What are you doing? He's still a big dude. Why would you do that?
Don't have no sense.
What did he do to that guy? He did something crazy, and it was in self-defense. I think he put him through a glass or something.
Yeah, and I believe he got arrested for it, but I mean, he was all right.
It was ridiculous, man.
We learned that day.
Shout out to y'all can search YouTube. There's a lot of Haku stories, and all of them shits is real.
Yeah, the word about Haku is he ain't nothing to be played with. He's one of those dudes that if you have a problem in your locker room, that's who you send to go solve the problem,
Yeah, I mean,
and
he's like
everybody
real.
knows.
He's for real. He's like dead. Like he's like one of those real dudes, man. And he's trained in sumo wrestling of all things. But the guy was like, he was really about that life. Like, and there's other wrestlers that tell stories. Just put in Haku stories or something in the YouTube search engine. You'll see other wrestlers telling stories about how they were just like in a bar and these dudes try to front on them. And Haku is, I remember Stevie Ray was telling the story. He's like, yo, they ran and got Stevie because the guys that were on the road with got into a bar fight. He says, I run into the bar. And he said, Haku got some guy in that Tongan death grip, you know, where you put your hands under the throat and he's choking this dude and had to pull him out. He almost killed that guy. Then he said he was outside beating up like 4 cops. I mean, it was crazy, man. The guy's crazy. Ric Flair got stories. Rick Steiner got stories. Everyone has a story. He's like a real life, and that's The Rock's uncle, y'all, if y'all don't know. He was like dead ass official tissue. He was like not to be fucked with in the locker room or like in real life. But anyway, I'll do a stream about him too. But this is Rick Steiner. I think this is in the 80s. This is like maybe 87, 88.
Yeah, mid 80s. Yep.
But you know, this was his first gimmick. You know, and then the next time I saw him, he popped up with Mike Rotundo in a group called the Varsity Club.
Absolutely.
And that was when he took on the gimmick as being like a punch-drunk, retarded wrestler. And I like that gimmick. It fit him. The Varsity Club. And and there were a bunch of heels. And then that's when I saw his brother Scott pop up. Because Scott came in and he was a babyface and he had to save his brother from the bad influence. You understand? And then the Steiners got together. And man, let me tell you something, man. Scott Steiner, I mean, y'all know him as Big Papa Pump and everything else, but Scott Steiner was a talented wrestler. As a heavyweight, this guy could go. He could wrestle on the mat, and he was also a flyer at that weight, man. What are your thoughts on Scott Steiner when you first saw Scott?
Well, obviously, you look at him now and you think, well, damn, here's another jacked up dude, and he looks quite different now. Like, the change was overnight. But when he first came in, I was excited because I was like, oh, Rick got his brother for real, you know, and they had the mullets and whatnot, and they was out there, you know, doing the Frankensteiners and whatnot. And I was like, yo, that shit right there is hot. And so I liked him at that point.
Yeah, man, he was amazing. I first saw him, I can't remember. He used to wear yellow trunks with yellow boots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching.
I believe they both represented the University of Michigan.
University of Michigan, that's right. And by then, you know what made it amazing? The only luchador I ever seen in my life up until that point was Mil Mascaras. That's amazing. We didn't see Lucha Libre in America. We wasn't getting it on TV out here. We didn't know what that was. The only masked Latin wrestler we ever saw was Mil Mascaras. That was the only one.
So you never got to see Jushin Thunder Liger or anybody like that?
I'll get to that because I'm gonna do a whole show on New Japan Pro Wrestling, but that's Japan. I was introduced to that in around the same time because I love the Great Muta. I'm gonna do a show on him. I love the Great Muta, and then I got introduced to New Japan Pro Wrestling when WCW said, we sent our guys over there to do a tour, and they were playing clips. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? And there was no internet back then. So I had to literally go to a stationery store around my way, and I'm looking at the magazines, and I found the magazine that was in all Japanese. And it was a wrestling magazine, and I picked it up, and I'm going through it, and I'm recognizing a lot of wrestlers over there with these Japanese dudes, but I couldn't read nothing. I couldn't read, but so I bought the magazine, but I couldn't read nothing. I'm looking at their faces, and I kept it in mind, and I found their names later. There was New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Japan Pro Wrestling, and they had their own stable of superstars over there. And I recognized Great Muta. Then I recognized he had two egos over there. It's Great Muta, but his name is Keiji Muta. He wrestled under both. And Hiroshi Tenzan, Satoshi Kojima, Shinjiro Otani, all these guys, and and then I saw Jushin Thunder Liger, and then I saw him running around in WCW. I said, "Oh, there go homie right there." And then Chris Benoit was wrestling over there with a mask on. They called him Wild Pegasus.
Yeah, yep. Pegasus Kid, Wild Pegasus, yep.
Yeah, man. I was like, man, this is crazy. So they have their own thing over there, and our guys went over there, and my God, there's a man over there by the name of Kensuke Sasaki. And that dude is built like a goddamn tank. And he is so talented that when Road Warrior Animal, he had and rest in power to both of the Road Warriors. He had a back injury, like in the late 80s, going into the 90s at some point, where he had to take a rest from the business for a little bit. And Sasaki took on the mantle as Power Warrior, and he was teaming with Road Warrior. And I got to tell you something, man. There's a match when they wrestled the Steiners. Jesus Christ. Hulk Hogan tells a story about when he went to Japan. And he said, man, Freddie Blassie brought him in there. And he said he looked at the ring, and he said, man, those guys was going, man. And he looked at Freddie. He said, I can't do that. You know, the arm locks and the arm drags. And he said, and I think he, in the ring, Ricky Chosu was one of the dudes. So he said, well, Freddie, what do I do? And he said, punch him in the face. Make him slow down. I said, it's like that? Now, I got to ask you, Jermaine, where does the rehearse stuff end and the stiffing begins? How does that transpire? And especially, what if you're dealing with someone that doesn't speak your language, whether they're with Spanish or Japanese? How do y'all communicate? How does that work?
So the way you communicate with somebody that doesn't speak your language, the moves, you know what your moves are universally, or you know what setups are for certain moves. So you just kind of, this is what it is. And you got to recognize that a lot of the holds that we use have multiple names. So if you just say the name, you can get that and you kind of go out. The best stuff is the stuff that's not rehearsed, where you just go out and I might take you in the side headlock. I know what's coming next. You know what I mean? So I can kind of predict what's coming. So it's a lot of paying attention, knowing what the setups are, knowing what the calls are.
Wow. It's an art form, man. It's an art form. And I respect it. And as I got older, because you know, when you're a kid, it's exciting. But when you get older, you're like, damn, man. And it's an art form, man. It's a total art form. What I want to show y'all is oh, check this shit out, man. Now I'm gonna call fair use on this. But in this match, this is a whole lot of beef. It's a whole lot of beef in this ring, y'all. This is the Steiner brothers and Scott Norton versus the Road Warriors and Power Warrior. It's a whole lot of beef in this ring, ladies and gentlemen. Fair use. I think that's the Tokyo Egg Dome.
Yeah, that's where they commonly performed at the Egg Dome, and if you notice, their crowd is completely different than our crowd.
Oh, very, 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 very different. Very different. And Scott Norton, man, he was a world class arm wrestler. Let me move it along a little bit. And this is another thing. That guy in the middle right there, that's Kensuke Sasaki, aka Power Warrior. He's strong as hell.
He look like he fit the Road Warriors, don't he?
Yeah, he fit right in, bro. He's strong as fuck, man. His wife also wrestles. I forgot her name. But New Japan Pro, the Japanese audience, look at how diesel Scott is already. And this is pre-Big Papa Pump. I mean, the dude was always in phenomenal shape, man, always. And also the guys that we watch over here, like the Road Warriors, how they wrestled over there, it's not how they wrestled over here. There's things I want to get to. Yeah, Steiner Brothers, Steiner Brothers versus it was on the WCW card. It was Steiner Brothers versus well, I can't think of this Japanese fella's name because he was also a WWF champion. Why I can't think of this guy's name? Not Inoki. It was he's a legend too. I can't think of his name.
I know who you're talking. I can see his face and can't think of his name.
He wore black trunks, black boots. Oh man, that's bothering me now. Nah. I gotta get his name because it was him. Huh?
I'm about to look it up myself.
Yeah, it was him, and I forgot his. I forgot the dude he was teaming with. But I gotta tell you, I was watching that in my living room, and my mom's was sitting on the couch doing something, and she's looking at the screen, and she said, "Ain't this supposed to be like fake?" And I said, "I don't know about this one because the other Japanese dude, he was wearing like hot pink shorts and matching boots. They were throwing his ass around, and by the time he got out the ring, he was like on one knee, hair all linked to the side, his eyes was bloodshot. They were fucking him up." And I said, I don't understand what it looked crazy. What is this guy?
I mean, you might think, like I said, that was an event where they were working what we call stiff. You'd be surprised how often that happens. And you thinking, oh, this is McDonald's Playland. It's not.
Yeah, that was has there ever been a WWE Japanese? No, not no goddamn Taka Michinoku. No, this is no. It's bothering me. No, I need to find out this dude's name. Get out of here. We all know about Inoki, man. No, this what is this brother's name? He's in the video game and all that.
I want to say Kenzo Suzuki, but that's not right.
No, that's not him. Ain't no goddamn Mr. Fuji either.
Was it Tenzan?
No, wasn't Hiroshi Tenzan. It's obviously not Nakamura. That guy probably wasn't even born. Damn, what is his name?
You're not thinking Hiro Matsuda, are you?
Nope. It wasn't Tiger Mask, because there was a Tiger Mask in the WWE. The original Tiger Mask. No, not him. Not him. Why they giving me all these new guys?
Yeah, the new guys are, they're there now. That's the new thing now.
Natsumi Fujinami. That's him. Tatsumi Fujinami from the 70s. That's him. Tatsumi Fujinami. Bro. Fujinami and whoever his partner was. Bro, they threw this little dude around the ring. I don't know what he did in the locker room to piss them off. I don't know what the hell happened, but it was all bad. It was all bad. Like, my mom's looked at that and was like, yo, what the hell, bro? That it was crazy. But when they put the camera on him, he was ready like to cry. I mean, they were fucking him up. It was bad, bro. It was bad.
It's funny you should say that, because a wrestling locker room can be kind of like the mob type deal, where you got your coach and you got your enforcer in the locker room, and you could walk in the locker room and not be liked by anybody else, and the guy in that locker room would be like, hurt him. You got to go out and do that shit, or the target is on you.
That's bad. Now, how does that work? I mean, like, when the match is over, because you got to do what's best for the company and your paycheck. And it's hard when you got to put a guy over for the sake of the company, and he's in there stiffing you, like knocking your teeth loose, and it's like, yo, you know, what do you do?
Somebody, you give it right back and you make them understand. You give it right back and you make them understand. Now, from time to time, that can turn into something in the locker room, and you handle that in the locker room. But if you out there and somebody's purposely stiffing you, yeah, you give it back to them.
That's foul, man, because y'all are on tour together, and the job is to make sure y'all are safe and y'all get paid, y'all get back to your families, y'all pay y'all bills. I was watching something about there's a lot of things floating around the internet about Ahmed Johnson. A lot of bad things. I don't know. Of course I'm not there. I'd love to talk to him. But I heard something about him and Ron Simmons getting into something. And Ron got injured, and it was Ahmed's fault. And then, when Ron was coming back, Ahmed was, they were booked. And I heard several wrestlers tell the same story. They said, yo, Ron's back now. Ron, from what I read and what I've heard, you ain't fuck with that guy. He ain't like he was like on a Haku level. Like, he used to walk around the back, but like, I am unfuckwittable. That's what he used to say. Like, he will like bust your shit like backstage. And Ron, and shout out to Ron Simmons. He was the first Black WCW champion, I believe. Is that accurate?
Yes, he was.
And he beat Vader for that. So, and Vader was like on a rampage back then. So, salute to Ron Simmons. And Ahmed did something crazy and hurt him and put him out for a little while. When he came back, they booked him. And they were like, yo, he's going to beat the shit. So it was strange because Ahmed was already over. Ahmed was like a headliner at that point. And Ron came back when he was as Farouk. And he ran out to the ring. And I'm saying, like, how does that work? Because Farouk at that time was still a heel. And he literally ran to the ring, and it was during a Raw show. And he beat the shit out of Ahmed. And how does that work when they do you remember any of that? Does any of this ring a bell?
I do. I remember all of that. And I heard the stories from other people once I got into a WWE locker room. So I heard the story from other people, but I remember watching wrestling at that point in time and seeing something wasn't quite right. So then when I'm being told the story, I'm like, okay, now this shit makes sense now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, damn, he just fucking him up for what? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you start to understand and you start to hear the stories about how unsafe he was, and
Yeah.
you know, people would tell him, "Hey, look, you gotta work on yourself. I ain't gotta do shit."
Mm.
You know, I mean, there was a situation I worked on a show this weekend, and there was two gentlemen that were wrestling each other, and um one of the guys got hurt inadvertently, and he was pissed when he got to the locker room. Now, this is a big 400-pound man that's mad, and he's on a rampage. And it really ain't shit you can do at that point, but hey, bruh, you got to handle that. You know, so it happened. It happens. And the other guy, past couple shows he's been involved with, he's been noted for being a little unsafe or not in his right mind. And so you have that too.
Oh, that's a hard business.
You know, I heard Ahmed, his sister was dying of cancer, and he had left. He had left unexpectedly to go be with his sister, and I think his sister eventually died of cancer. And then I think shortly after that, or maybe even before that, he was let go of the WWE. So, and I think he came out and said something about that, and you know, it was a whole big thing where he was talking about, like, you know, the WWE is racist and stuff like that. A lot of things came out, you know, in those shoot interviews that, you know, these wrestlers do now.
Yeah,
but that was part of the reason, like towards like the end of the WWE career, like his sister, I think, was dying of cancer. So that played into a factor, because he was supposed to be in the Nation. I think he was in the Nation Domination.
for a second, yeah.
And The Rock came in and kind of like took his spot pretty much. And you know, and he, you know, they had the feud or whatever the case may be, but you know, because he was supposed to be a world champion.
Yeah.
And it never came. He was Intercontinental champion, I think, a couple times, or maybe one time. And that was it. You never heard from him really again after WWE.
Well, here's the thing about that saying about the WWE being racist. If you've watched the WWE, WWF for any point in time, you'll notice things that you'll be like, damn, that was racist, you know, or that was a racist act. You know what I mean? Some of it is done on purpose, obviously. Some of it you just don't think about it until you really think about it. So, like, think of Coco Beware. You wouldn't think anything about Coco Beware ordinarily. He's the Birdman. He's fun. He's entertaining. But who does Coco Beware often look like when you really think about it? He looks like Buckwheat. He looks like Buckwheat from the Little Rascals.
Sure.
Yeah, I can see
so
that.
He's playing a grown Buckwheat gimmick.
Yeah, but Coco Beware, just like kind of like, I mean, I'll take it a little back, and you guys know the Junkyard Dog. The Junkyard Dog was a major star, and Coco was kind of like a major star, like in the South. Those guys were South, and what Vince was doing was, you know, because that's when everything was kind of like territorial, and you had all these promotions, they were kind of territorial. Vince was taking the talent and bringing them here. That's why he took Coco Beware, he took Junkyard Dog. Junkyard Dog was a major star down in the South.
Yeah,
you know, he could have been. He was like a Hulk Hogan capable star. Like he was, you know. But then he had his little demons and stuff like that. But you know, that's what the WWF at that time would do. Vince would do. He would kind of
the demons may have been the reason why he never held a major title.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. At that point in time, he was Sylvester Ritter. Before he was known as the Junkyard Dog, he was Sylvester Ritter.
Yeah.
Then they put a dog collar on him and a chain and made him the Junkyard Dog.
Let's save that conversation. I want to do a whole show dedicated to popular Black professional wrestlers. You know, because there's probably a lot that people don't even know about. I told y'all before, I had long conversations with SD Jones. He lived right here in Mount Vernon. And he told me the story about, I told y'all before, he told me the story about WrestleMania. I said, oh shit. I mean, I had no idea. Because that pissed me off, man. WrestleMania 2? Was it 2 or 1?
One.
I said, WrestleMania 1.
I said, what the fuck, man? I was mad as hell. I said, why they do that to the brother? My pops was like, God damn it. But he told me the story decades later. He says, no. He told me they went to Tito Santana. They went to A-list guys. They went to Tito Santana. He said, no, They went to Bruno Sammartino Jr., who also wrestled on WrestleMania 1. He told them no. They went to a bunch of guys. I was like, no, it's going to hurt my... Went to Ricky Steamboat. No, it's going to hurt my brand. And he says, man, SD, will you do this for me? And he said, yup. And he gave him a bag, and then he gave him another bag. It was like, don't tell anyone I gave you this. And I'm not clear on the amount, but what he did tell me was that he ate off of that, bought a whole house, and done. And his son went to school with my older brother. His son.
I mean, when you think about it, if you watch SD Jones, every Saturday he was on. Every Saturday morning he was going to got work. And he was getting work, and he was losing. He might lose, but he was making money.
Yeah.
He was making money.
He was Andre the Giant's tag team partner in the famous knock him out and cut his hair match when Andre got knocked out. Yeah, and cut his hair. SD Jones was his partner. Yeah, and SD Jones was very known on the Southern Circuit too, where he would win. You know, and I didn't know until I spoke to him. He's West Indian. I didn't know that until I spoke to him. I said, "Oh shit, you from the islands?" He said, "Yeah, I think he's from St. Thomas or something. I forget. Act in the building, man. Salute, brother."
What's good, Drew? My fault, man. My alarm apparently didn't go off. I always try to set it. That was my bad. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, look at the damn time. My fault, man. Salute everybody in the chat. Man, y'all talking about the Steiners still? Or?
Yeah, we're gonna get back to the Steiners, but we're gonna get back to the Steiners. We're talking about the Steiners, bro. What do you know about the Steiners? Because I know you're a little on the young side. What do you know about the Steiners?
I remember them, you know, a little in WCW. I definitely remember Rick. I remember them before. Basically, I remember him a little before he became Big Papa Pump. I'm more familiar with Scott when he really did become Big Papa Pump. You know what I mean? More of his solo career, but I remember them two together. I don't remember them before, you know what I mean? They were in WCW, though. I don't remember before. Were they somewhere else?
Oh, my God. Okay. Man, we're gonna...
Yeah, he don't know.
Yeah, so I'm going to take you down. So...
Did y'all talk about... Because the one things I know about, like with the Steiners, that a lot of people don't talk about, at least for me, is Scott Steiner. Like everybody, you know, the moves that everybody does, the Hurricane Rana.
Yeah.
Well, I was first introduced to Hurricane Rana to the Frankensteiner. That's what that was.
That's what I was saying.
He was the first one that I've seen do that. And
that's what I was saying before you pulled up. That's what I was telling Jermaine. I said, you know, a lot of that we didn't see Lucha Libre in America. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw Scott, a heavyweight, doing a Frankenstein, I said, what the fuck? I was like, what the hell is that? And not only could he go as far as working on the mat, but he was a high flyer. Did you know he was the first heavyweight that I've ever seen do a shooting star press? Did you know that?
Wow, yeah, that's true. I've seen it,
He almost killed himself
unless you watch New Japan, or unless you had a satellite dish like I did and watched everything, you didn't see those type of moves from your average everyday wrestlers.
That's right. You didn't see it here. That's why it boggled my mind. I said, this dude is talented, man. So
he did some of them in AWA. In AWA, he did some of those moves. Because I think that's where I first saw them. Because I saw Rick with the Varsity Club. That's why I saw
the Varsity Club. That was later. I just played if you go back in the live, I played when I first saw him in the 80s, he was brought out by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. And Rick is 5'10". In that video I shown previously, he was 265, all muscle. And his gimmick was totally different. He was a big dude. Right here, fair use, y'all. This is Sting and the Great Muta versus the Steiner brothers in Japan. And like me and Jermaine was saying earlier, the way you'll see your favorite wrestler fight over there is different They actually wrestle in Japan. They actually appreciate the craft, rock. But listen, wait till I do the video game show about wrestling. You know what y'all don't know? Do y'all remember the NES? The N64 wrestling game, the WWF wrestling games? No Mercy, powerful. Those are my favorite. I still got them. Those are my favorite games. Did you know those weren't really their games? They just bought the rights and put their characters in it. That was really All Japan Pro Wrestling because I have both games. I have both.
Wow.
I have both. And if you go to when you go to the edit system to create a character, all of the New Japan Pro Wrestling moves are there. You can actually create the character on the WWE game. The intros the music is the same, but I'm gonna show y'all this. It's crazy. It's crazy. I have both. I have them right here in the drawer. All Japan Pro Wrestling. And then it was All Japan Pro Wrestling for the N64, and for the PlayStation 2, New Japan Pro Wrestling. And every now and again, the American wrestlers, you'll see there. You'll see Chris Benoit on there, and you'll see Scott Norton on there. Wait till I do the video game, man. That shit it was crazy. I was like, yo, this is the same game.
Yeah, Scott Norton was real big in Japan. He was
man. Scott Norton, and he was a heel, but Scott Norton was like a god over there. Like he was a mid-carder here, but over there, they loved him, man. They loved him. Let me take it back. I just want to show y'all some of this stuff because I want to show y'all the difference in
you're not even gonna get to the bumping, or put it this way, you shouldn't get to the bumping stage. Some trainers, some teachers will be like, all right, well, we'll just let them bump. And you can tell
it was obviously the best version. You know.
Jermaine, I got a question. Who originated that? Who was the sharp when it come to the sharp shooter and the Scorpion Deathlock? Who was first with that? Was it Bret Hart? I always wanted to know.
Ricky
Who was
Chosu.
it? Okay.
Ricky
Somebody
Chosu.
came before them. Okay.
Brett actually tells you in an interview that he saw Sting do it and then started working on it because he was looking for a signature move after he left the Hart Foundation. And he saw Sting do that move, and he does it a little differently than Sting, but it's essentially the same move, and that he borrowed that from Sting.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that because when Brett was the tag team and before that, Sting was already doing it. You know, he's already solo. So yeah.
Yeah. So the Steiner brothers, I ranked them high, very, very high. As far as tag teams. Hold on, I gotta show y'all this. When I tell y'all that Scotty was fucking mean in Japan, well, he was mean overall. First of all, look at his face right there. All right, now watch this, y'all. Watch this. He does. This is Hiroshi Hase. He's about to do this too.
Hey Drew, they think they suspended the stream.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Hold on.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Wow, that's nuts.
They don't play with this WWE content. They don't.
Yeah, but that's not a WWE copyright. I'm shocked because they got me for like doing.
Don't they own all of that own stuff still?
Yeah, Vince bought all that up, and it's
even the Japan stuff.
Yeah,
I think we back.
Yeah, you're back now. You're back now. Because I got the other laptop. I have it here in me.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, everything that everything that's Smoky Mountain, AWA, WCCW, all that Mid-South, all that is now under the WWE banner.
All right, hold on. All right, I'll just show this then.
That's crazy. I didn't know that we're even that too because I got flagged for playing CM Punk's music.
Look at this. That's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up. I want to do that to one of my bosses on concrete. It's fucked up.
I want to be there when you do it too.
I could do that shit. That I could do. Yeah, but I forgot. Steiner Brothers is a part of WWE, and they don't play with that. They don't play none of. You can't fair use none of that shit. So okay, but the Steiners, man. There's a whole video on here. If you put in Scott Steiner's move base or Arsenal, bro, they're gonna take you through the 90s and some of the 80s. The shit that he was doing. I never seen a heavyweight do. I never seen him. When I saw him do a shooting star press, I said, "Time out, time out. What the fuck was that? Why would he do that?" He did it. He did it. When he became Big Papa Pump, he slowed down a great deal. That's what people don't understand, because the business was catching up to him. The business was catching up to him, but They were a wild bunch. They're in the Hall of Fame. They were inducted. Damn, I wish I had a whole bunch of videos set up to show, because I kind of figured there's a lot of shit that he didn't know about them, right? But that match, Jermaine, that match I'm talking about with Fujinami and the Steiners and that other dude, it's on YouTube.
Yeah. Y'all got to check some of this stuff out on YouTube.
Yeah, man. Let me see. Steiner Brothers.
It's crazy. Like, it's all on YouTube, but then you get, if you use YouTube to stream it, you get blocked. But that's crazy.
Yeah, I was just trying to fair use it, man.
Because there's a lot of interviews on YouTube also. You know, because
a whole bunch.
Yeah, like the shoot interviews.
Was it
now Rick's son, Braun Breaker.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, dang! I was going to ask Jermaine something too. Well, maybe you two know. Did he have a grievance against Scott? Did he have a grievance against the WWE? Did something happen? Because I could have sworn I heard like an interview or something where he was complaining about something. I think maybe one of them legend contracts. It might have been.
When he came back to WWE, he probably had a Legends contract, because I think he feuded with Triple H for a little bit, and then
okay.
But you know, Scott was a kind of a hothead from what I've heard too. So, you know, maybe that. But
I believe
I didn't hear anything with him and his brother.
Okay.
Yeah, because Rick is a hothead too, from what I've heard. Like when he does autograph signings and stuff, sometimes he be flipping on people from what I heard. But I don't know if that's true or not. But
they're old. I fucked them up now.
Yeah.
Another thing too. They were actually brothers, right? You know how sometimes they make them.
Nah, they really related.
Okay. I was just making sure. All right.
They got like I think they got like a Jewish name, like Steichenbacher or something, Steinenbacher or something, Steinenrecker. It's like their name.
Hey, bro, listen. One WCW event, they walked to the ring with their dad. You want to know something? Their fucking dad is bigger than both of them. I said, wait, that's their pops? No, the dude was big.
Their real last name is Rex Steiner. Rex Steiner. It's like a weird name.
Yo, that dude, it was during the Nitro. And I think they were in Michigan. I think. And they walked out with their dad. And I said, wait, Rick is 5'10". Scott is like 6'1". Why is the dad got to be about 6'5"? He had on a jacket, a business jacket. I said, wait a minute. What the hell? No wonder. It all makes sense. Look, I got the match pulled up. Remember I told you they fucked that kid up?
Mm-hmm.
Look at him in the corner. He's fucked up, bro. They just got done flinging him around, and he tagged in Fujinami, and he was like that for the rest of the match, bro. That was not cool. They fucked him up. It was messed up, man. Oops. Yeah, they had him. They tore him up, man. He was like done.
Hey Drew, let me give you an example of how something like that works. Where you were asking me about when the guys get into it, you know, for real. So
Yeah.
there was a cat in the locker room. Now I'm minding my own business. I see like 6 or 7 dudes surrounding this guy, so you know something ain't right.
Yeah.
So I walk up on them and I'm like, "Yo, what's going on, fellas? What's going on?" They was like, "Yo, your boy over here talking shit about this company, and this company. The one thing you don't do is talk shit about where somebody else eat. That's a violation." So I'm like, "All right, you know he green, he new, he don't know. Let him live." They was like, "Nah, we not letting nobody live. The hit is out on your boy, and if you do anything to stop it, the hit is on you."
Well,
so I'm like, look. So I'm like, damn. So I'm like, look, let me handle it. I'll execute the hit. They said, all right, you got to execute it. Goes to my mans. I'm like, look, the hit is on you. Ain't shit I can do about it. Either it's me or it's them. How you want it. So we go out. We're in the battle royal. In there, he's getting punched on. He's getting beat on. I mean, his chest is so red, it's starting to just bleed from the amount of chops he got. The one thing he shouldn't have done was eliminate himself from the battle royal because they was waiting on him in the back. Send him right back out to the ring. Now I gotta get him. So I had to do him dirty, then eliminate him, and then send him back. That's how that worked out.
Do you remember that shit is real? Do you remember the tag team group called Public Enemy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yo, I heard something. I remember watching this live. There was a battle royal on a WWF show, and they came out, and it's like everything stopped when they got to the ring because everybody stopped what they was doing specifically to fuck them up, and they threw their ass out, and they looked a little too aggressive. It's like everybody was in character, but when they got to the ring, everyone stopped what they was doing specifically to beat their ass and throw their ass out. And I said, what the hell was that? And I found out later, I heard later, that they were on some bullshit in the locker room. And I think Rocco Rock actually had an accident in the ring and he died in the ring. Was it Rocco Rock? The one with the black hair?
The one with the braids, yeah.
Yeah, he died in the ring during the match. He had a heart attack or something. Unfortunate, man. But that locker room stuff is real. And I heard Scott Steiner was a locker room bully. Do you know anything about that?
I've heard that too. I've like I said, they were gracious to me, but I've heard that he could be a locker room bully. I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
But phenomenal talent, man. He was a phenomenal talent. Rick was a phenomenal talent, man. As wrestling progressed over here, the gimmicks kind of like took over, and to the younger audience, like our brother Act, the gimmicks stand out. But if you search now, that's why, thank goodness for YouTube, because you can actually find these guys, experts at their craft, probably before you was born. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's like Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan, for example, was a big deal over here. I said, man, they wrestled like 50 times in Japan. And this is back when Andre the Giant was super mobile.
But they never saw it here.
Yep. I'm telling you, there was a whole thing. Andre the Giant, let me tell you something. There's wrestlers that fought in Japan, but in America, they were in 2 different companies.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. Y'all didn't know Stan Hansen wrestled Hulk Hogan. Oh, I'm sorry, Terry Boulder.
Yeah.
That was his name. Y'all didn't know. Yo, you know about the Hulk Hogan and Inoki incident?
Yep.
Oh my God, that was fucked up. Did you know Hogan's finisher used to be a clothesline. He used to call it the Axe Bomber.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the hell happened. And Inoki is like huge over there.
Yeah.
He's also a politician.
Yeah.
So Inoki's about to get in the ring, and Hogan runs up and hits him with the Axe Bomber and knocks him out for real. Match over. It's like, oops. How do you handle that? What the fuck?
When did he start doing the leg drop? When did he start a Hulkamania leg drop?
Well, it was funny because he was doing it in Japan, but it wasn't his finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, but something like that is too basic over there.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess, and that's another thing y'all don't remember. He was already a heel over here.
Yeah.
Under Classy Freddie Blassie. And he left, and then when he came back, he had a run in the NWA. He was feuding with Harley Race. I think did he win the belt, the NWA World Title? I don't remember.
He didn't win. He never won that. He had won the IWGP belt.
He did. He won that.
And then he was supposed to win the AWA title with Nick Bockwinkel, and that's about the time that he got the role of Rocky.
Yes, Thunderlips.
And once he got that role, he was able to call his own shots because Vince Sr. didn't want it. Vince Jr. wanted it.
Vince Jr. wanted him. He was in love with those big guys, man. Pause. And he got the Sheik. I think he got him in New York. And then Hulkamania took off right there. That was 83?
Yeah, 82, 83. Yeah, 83 is when they had the Madison Square Garden match, and he beat the Sheik. He beat the Iron Sheik.
And that's when was it the guy? Was it Gagne that runs AWA? He told Sheik not to do it. He told him to break his knee or something. He said,
it was Gagne.
Yeah.
Essentially, there was a hit on Hogan for leaving the company the way he did.
Yeah, and Sheik was with AWA too. So yep.
But there's a whole history with this thing. But getting back to the Steiners, man, where would you rank them as far as all-time tag teams?
I'd have them in the top 5.
Top 5. Who are your top tag teams?
I have Anderson and Blanchard.
Yep.
I'd have the Hart Foundation.
Yep.
I'd have the British Bulldogs.
Yep.
I'd have, just based on chemistry alone, I'd have the Road Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Then them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would say, in no particular order, Steiners is on top 5. The U.S. Express, who's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I don't mean to cut you, but I was debating with some friends of mine. I think they should have went in individually. I think Rotundo and Wyndham should have went in solos. I mean, I know because Rotundo was tag teams with different tag teams and stuff, but Wyndham was a really good worker. He was good as a singles competitor. They weren't really a tag team that long with the USA connection.
He was always good. Barry Windham is one of those guys that probably should have been somebody's world heavyweight champion and wasn't.
Yeah, he was NWA champ, I think, a couple of times, if not once. Because remember, he lost to Flair to the figure 4. He got pinned.
Right, but he never really had a long run as a first tier champion.
Yeah.
He's so talented that he's one of those guys that could do that. That could have done that. But at the same time, you're looking at who was champions then. So, I mean, he kind of have a similar look as Hulk Hogan. So that wasn't going to work there because he didn't have that charisma that he had. Yeah, but he didn't have the charisma that Flair had. And so he just kind of got passed over, I feel like.
Yeah, he was U.S. champ a couple times. I think TV champ. You know,
that was the best
I liked him as a singles wrestler. I thought he was really solid, especially in WCW.
No, that's cool. I'm gonna say U.S. Express because that was I was a kid when they were running around. So I was digging that. The Freebirds, pick any two. Fabulous Freebirds. LOD, of course, and I'll throw Doom in there because of who they were. Although they weren't around long, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that's Ron Simmons and Butch Reed, I'm just gonna show them love. But there's a bunch of them. Oh man, that's why you can't. We already did this show already, but I mean, you gotta throw in the Wild Samoans, Sika and Alpha. You gotta throw them in there. But man, but the Steiners is legendary, man. The Steiners is legendary. And I will say, skill for skill, wouldn't you have loved to see the Steiners versus the British Bulldogs, prime for prime?
That would have been good. That would have been
dream matchup. Good. Dream matchup. Right. But they're two different eras.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs is in the early 80s. The Steiners, they come around until like the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. The Bulldogs was already done. Dynamite Kid got like really sick. He got really sick. But that's some, even the Steiners versus the Hart Foundation. That would have been dope, man.
That would have been that, and that's like close. Like the time frame for that to happen, it could have happened. It just didn't.
Yeah. But my gosh, man, if you, I want everyone, make sure if you want to see your favorite wrestler, like actually wrestle. I mean, gimmicks aside, like the way we see Hulk Hogan, he's throwing people around. There's no real move set, no real skill set. Trust me, just put in Hulk Hogan in Japan. You actually see him wrestling. I mean, it's a sight. The Steiners wrestling in Japan. It's a sight. I even think Bret Hart did a little Japan tour.
Bret's been to Japan before.
Yeah. There's a guy, y'all remember when he bought Vince likes to change your name and fuck it all up and make it racist. Remember Hakushi?
Yep.
His real name is Jinsei Shinzaki. And one thing I will say, when they introduced him in the WWF, they let him be him. But if you go and Google him or put him in the search engine in YouTube, that's another dude that can go. I mean, he's nice with it. Ultimo Dragon, they kind of downplayed him here. Oh
they
my God,
they downplayed him a lot.
Yeah, that guy's a legend over there. Ultimo Dragon had a did you know when you do the moonsault off the second rope outside the ring? He's the first wrestler to start doing it. It's called the Asai moonsault. That's his last name. His name is Yoshihiro Asai. And Liger took the move from him. And Jushin, oh man, I gotta do a whole show about Jushin Thunder Liger. He just retired. I saw a picture with Kevin Nash with this Japanese dude, right? I'm like, who's that? And I'm reading, and I saw it on Instagram, and he said, you guys might not know who this is. And I'm reading, it was fucking Jushin Liger. I was like, damn, I never saw him with his mask off. But he's been wrestling for over 30 years. And he just retired in 2023, I think. I think he just retired.
Yeah, and there's a story behind the mask and everything. So guys that you see wearing masks, they will walk around wearing the mask in public. They won't take that thing off till they get home or until they're in the locker room. And sometimes not even then.
Hell yeah, man. I saw him working out. He was running with the goddamn mask on. I said, that's got to be uncomfortable. That's got to be uncomfortable. But they really lived this thing, man.
Got to protect that face. So if it comes off, it came off for a reason.
Did Rey Mysterio ever take it off? I don't remember him ever taking it
off.
Yeah.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, you've seen Rey without his mask a couple times. And he looks like a little 12-year-old boy. Be for real, for real.
Yeah.
You look like Michael Jackson. No, I'm sorry. That was Hooven. Hooven to Guerrero looked like Michael Jackson. Fucking yo, wait, hold on. Before we go, let me tell you about one of the most offensive and most racist thing I've ever. Yo, Vince is a creep. Do you remember Mexico?
Yes, he got
Oh
that.
my God!
I'm gonna let you run with it.
I was so uncomfortable with that. Yo, them niggas came to the goddamn ring on a lawnmower. I said, "Oh my God!" I was like, I thought my cable was gonna start flickering and shut off. I said, "Yo, you ever watch something like this? Like, oh my God, what the fuck?" I said, "No." And the gimmick was, we're Mexican. Yeah, we mow lawns. We do shit that y'all don't do. We put shit on your roof. Make fun of us. And I said, oh my God, no. When I tell you I was so
What year was that, Drew? Because they can't get away
that
with
that.
that.
That was the early 2000s.
Yeah.
They still doing it
damn.
now.
Damn, that was kind of recent.
Bro, that was bad.
They still doing it now.
They still doing it?
Yeah. Because they brought back the LWO.
What?
Yeah, the LWO's back, but I don't think they have done anything, those weird gimmicks though. Not yet.
Bro, I had never been that uncomfortable. They rode to the ring on a John Deere lawnmower, all three of them. On one lawnmower. I said, what are they doing? Is there a term for cooning for Mexicans? Bro, I was like, oh shit. He went there. They finally went there. They went there.
I mean, on a lesser level, think about Eddie Guerrero. They made him come out talking about lying, stealing, and cheating in a lowrider.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you're right, Jeezy. You remember Crime Time?
Crime Time.
Brooklyn. I was like, no. What are y'all doing?
I will tell you though, and rest in peace to Chad Gaspard. Those are some cool ass brothers right there.
Yeah.
That was sad, bro. That was sad, man. My God. When they were
Profits, the guy comes out with he doesn't do it anymore. He came up with the cup, the red cup. The Street Profits now. What's his Ford? What's the guy? Fontez Ford. He comes with the red cup, like he has something in the cup.
like they drinking Hennessy. Yeah, the Street Profits. Yeah.
What was creative though? There was a wrestler. I used to go to the ECW shows, and there was a wrestler named Chili Willie.
I remember Chili Willie.
Light-skinned brother. He was big as fuck too. That dude, he was like Diesel. And every city they went to, they say he was from the city. That was creative. He was your favorite homeboy from the city you was in.
That's not same guy. That's not JT Smith, is it? It wasn't the same.
No, JT.
No, JT was the Italian.
Yeah, he was the one that was with the FBI. Yeah.
Now wait a minute. In ECW, there was a group called the Baldies, and they were from Fordham Road in the Bronx.
Yeah, I knew one of them. Angel, Spanish Angel from Queens.
He was like, they would come to the ring with cigars.
Yeah.
Like from Fordham Road in the Bronx. I'm like, oh shit.
One of them was from Queensbridge Project, Spanish Angel. I knew him.
Oh yeah.
My boy knows him. I was gonna ask you, Jermaine, if you know a guy named Mac Daddy Flex. He trained in Johnny Rod's gym, and Spanish Angel did too.
I do know Mac Daddy Flex.
Yeah, that's my boy. He worked out with Johnny Rod's in Gleason's gym.
Oh shit!
And Spanish Angel used to work out there too. That's how I met Spanish Angel. He's from Queensbridge Projects.
Wow.
Yeah, he was at the Baldies.
Baldy.
You see what they did with the Godfather. You see what they did with the Godfather.
What's crazy is he really owns a. Does he really own a?
Yeah.
He owns a gentleman's club, right?
Yeah. He's living his gimmick. He's living his gimmick to this day.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he's for real. He really. That was fucked up, man. He went to Vader. He went to Vader and said, "Have you ever been with a hoe?" Man, I got up and I walked out my living room. Nigga threw me out my own living room. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm done here. We're done here. And Vader took the hose and walked out the ring. And that's how he won the match. He gave him some hose and count out. What the fuck am I looking at here? What happened? Man, that Raw era was like, I mean, you want to talk about walking the fine line. That shit was not for children at all.
No, it definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't. As a matter of fact, The Godfather was kind of inspiration on my character, Jermaine Jubilee.
Okay.
In fact, I'm like one of the only guys you know that comes to the ring in a tailored 3/4 length suit and wrestle in the shit.
Oh, that's fucking hot. I like that. That shit is flavor.
There's a lot of your stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of interviews you got on YouTube.
Yeah. You know, I do a little bit. It's like the older I got, the more and more stuff I started doing. I was like, how did that work? But I'm out there. I'm out there still working.
You come into your own when you get a little older. Things get a little easier. You see things from a third eye perspective. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I know we've kind of gone off the rails with the from the Steiners. But to answer the question, how great were the Steiners? #very.
Very.
And there's a lot of things on there on them. Let me see if I can find this one last thing, because they pumped the brakes on my damn live for a second. You bastards!
Yeah, I've never seen
it. Here it is. Here it is. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. It's the last thing I'm gonna play, y'all. This is Scotty about to do a shooting star press, y'all. This is him. Now they're wrestling in the goddamn. What is that? That's
a ballroom.
It's a ballroom. That's Scott Steiner, y'all. Oh my God.
He was mad far away too.
Oh my God, man. I can't take it. Man, why would he do that? Word up, Almighty Lord, in a hotel.
Somebody told him it was a good idea.
Well, he probably was practicing it one day and somebody saw him and said, you should do that in a match. That's probably how it happened.
And as you said, he was mad far away. He probably wasn't supposed to be that far away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Shout out to Brock Lesnar, man. Oh my God. Remember that night he fought Kurt Angle? He almost killed himself?
With the what do you call that flip? Is that not the shooting star? Is it the shooting star? He tried to do the reverse flip, like.
Yeah, he tried to do the shooting star and didn't quite get all the way around.
His head hit like Angle's shoulder.
Yeah, he wilded out, man. He wilded out. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. I ain't gonna play that. That's totally WWE. I was like, why was he? Oh, Jesus Christ. But did y'all know him and Kurt Angle had a whole feud in Japan? Did y'all know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the Japanese games reviews. You're gonna see how many American wrestlers are on these games. Brock Lesnar is which one? But he's a playable character. It's him. But you can't read shit because it's in Japanese. And I said, look at him and Kurt Angle and C.W. Anderson and all these other dudes from ECW. They have like a whole American roster. I said, oh shit, that's half the ECW roster. They on this video game. I have all of them. Some of them shit was on the Dreamcast. That shit was wild, man. Shit was wild, man. I'm gonna do the review. But we gotta get out of here. I think the general's on, man. Yo, Jermaine, let them know how they can find you, good brother.
You can find me on Facebook under Jermaine Jubilee. I got a podcast show that goes on anywhere between 6 and 8 at night called Sports Talk with your main man, Jermaine Jubilee. We talk everything sports from the MLB to the WWE. So that's what we do. So check me out there.
No diggity doubt, man. That's what's up, man. If you can, put your links in the chat so people could find it. Thomas, let them know, good brother.
Drew, thank you very much. Jermaine Jubilee, I'm definitely gonna check out your channel. Definitely. We do the same thing too. We try to do every sport from boxing, baseball, football. We try to do everything. We want to do a WrestleMania show. I think Drew, you should try to do a WrestleMania show. I already asked some people. I'm trying to get Devon Dudley and Tommy Dreamer. I'm trying really hard to get them. My friend knows them, and then maybe Jermaine could come up and do it. Come on too with Flex. We could have a bunch of wrestlers. We do a WrestleMania show in a few weeks. I think that would be great.
Yeah, WrestleMania show would be cool.
Yeah,
I'm with it, man. I'm out of the loop somewhat, but ain't enough for me to get back on that. All right, let me know how they can find you, good brother.
Yes. Check me out on the Jab Jamboree and check me out on my other channel, Comic Cons, man. Man, this is a great show, man. I learned a lot from y'all. I gotta start watching these old videos on the Japan circuit, man.
You will not be disappointed, bro. You will not be disappointed. You're gonna be like, oh shit, they fought. Yup. Hell yeah, man. So y'all make sure y'all follow all my family. What'd you say?
Jermaine, drop your link. I don't want to miss it. I want to make sure I add you.
All right, I got you.
Yep. All y'all drop y'all links for real, man. And I might have to do a few wrestling shows, but it's gonna be difficult sometimes because, as you can see, you can't play too much shit on here because YouTube will put the kibosh on it. But y'all make sure y'all like and share the video. You know what I mean? I think a WrestleMania show will be dope. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do more because I forgot how much I love wrestling. You know what it is? I get home late on Mondays. No, I'm off on Mondays, but I'm doing other things. So I got out the loop. But like I said, ain't enough for me to get back in it. You know what I mean? And it's always been fun for me. It's instrumental in my childhood. I'm glad to see us around now still. You know what I mean? And this WrestleMania, I think, is real big. I like seeing The Rock, perform. He's one of the funniest dudes on the mic. Believe me, he is. But yeah, man.
Stay tuned for about a twist and turns to happen with that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Really.
Oh man.
If you've been out the loop, Drew, you got to get back on. You gonna love what's going on now.
Bet. I'm gonna get back in it. I've been out the loop for a couple of years now, but I've seen things. And I'm like, oh shit, oh yeah, that's dope. Oh, okay. I kind of know what's going on, but I want to get back into it. You know what I'm saying? So I can have an educated conversation about it. You know what I mean? So man, salute to y'all. And we're gonna be back here in the cave. But I want to get sooner than later. You know what I mean? So salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App. Super Chat's coming soon. You know what I'm saying? Like and share the video. You know what I mean? And salute to all my family. And we out the cave, but we'll be back next Friday.